Hi, everyone. I'm Erin with Homeschool Connections. We're here today with John Martignoni. John, it's good to have you here.
It's good to be here with you, Erin.
All right. Well, I'm really looking forward to hearing about the course that you teach with Homeschool Connections. Why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about your course?
Well, it's a high school theology course called Blue Collar Apologetics, and basically it's what it sounds like. Blue collar, it's apologetics, Catholic apologetics, obviously, and the blue collar is because it relies a lot on just plain old common sense and very simple logic and the Bible, but the focus is you use your common sense and very basic logic to respond to questions or even attacks about the Catholic faith. So you explain and defend the faith with logic, common sense, and the Bible. And you learn the Bible as we go through the course as well.
Awesome. So is this something based on a book or a series or something that you've done before professionally?
Well, I've been giving talks on apologetics for the last 20 years all over the country at parishes, conferences. And as I developed these talks, I realized there was a common thread running through all these talks of strategies for doing apologetics. And so I have these 4 basic strategies that I teach people in this class. And one of them is called the ignorant Catholic strategy. And all that is, well, you're asked a question about your faith and you don't know the answer. So you say, I don't know the answer, but I will find out and get back to you. And that's all it is.
Awesome.
And I have had so many people over the years tell me, John, just that one piece of advice, that one strategy has freed me up to talk to anybody. Because I've said, no matter what kind of jam you're in, when you start talking about your faith with, say, a Baptist or evangelical or even an atheist or someone like that,
right?
If you're asked a question you don't know, I tell them, I said, don't try to wing it. Don't try to pretend. Don't give a half-baked answer. Just say, I don't know. I always tell people, don't be afraid to appear ignorant, especially if you are ignorant. It's just that easy. And so the other strategies are along those lines. But basically, as I gave these talks over the years, these strategies just kind of kept coming up in the talks. And so I said, well, I'm just going to do a talk on these strategies. And that's the foundation of this course. Now, I will get into actual apologetics. For example, we talk about Mary in the Bible and the Pope and doctrines like once saved, always saved, and salvation by faith alone, and things along those lines. But underlying all of that are these strategies. So once you get the strategies down and you make them your own, because you can, that's what I like about them, is each person can make the strategy their own. You don't have to just mimic what John Martignoni does. You can make it what Erin Brown does and how she would do this, or how Joe Smith would do it, or Mary Lee would do it. And that's the beauty of these apologetic strategies.
This sounds so practical and so powerful for especially high school students.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I aim for, is practical. I have people tell me all the time, oh, John, we love this apologist or that apologist, but we can't do what they do. But we can do what you do.
There you go.
A lot of people say, well, John, that means they're telling you you're not very highbrow. And I say, exactly. And I think it's a huge compliment. I always tell people, if you want deep theology or deep philosophy, you don't want what I do. Because I give it for the average person sitting in the pew to be able to respond to questions or attacks about their faith. And I tell people, this stuff, I have had moms write me emails and tell me that their 9-year-olds have used my material to evangelize their 9-year-old friends.
Oh my goodness.
I had a 85-year-old Catholic great grandmother tell me that for 50 years, one of her best friends who's a Baptist had just been hitting her with question after question about the Catholic faith, and she never knew how to answer her. It always frustrated her. But then she got hold of some of my materials. She started listening to them, and they were so easy, she started putting them into practice. And so she started asking her Baptist friend questions. And then she said, now she doesn't ask me questions about my faith anymore. Because the Baptist couldn't answer the questions that 85-year-old great grandma was asking.
There you go. There you go. This sounds very practical and very real and very powerful for our high school students. Now, I want to get a little bit into, again, more of your background and what you do on a daily basis and why what you do is there to back up the information here in this class. Tell us here about what you do on a daily basis.
I am the founder and president of a nonprofit called the Bible Christian Society. And that's my apologetics and evangelization nonprofit. I send out my talks through that, and I book all my appearances through that and everything. And I've got a website, BibleChristianSociety.com, BibleChristianSociety.com. All my talks on there are free as MP3 downloads or CDs. I've got an apologetics newsletter. We're up, I think I'm about 380 issues now, and they're all free. They're all archived there on just about any topic apologetics related you can think of. But I'm also the director of evangelization for the Diocese of Birmingham. I have a radio show on EWTN radio called Open Line that's on, I think it's somewhere around 340 or 50 stations around the country. And what else do I do? I'm just
quite a few things.
I stay busy.
Yes, you do.
Oh, I've got upcoming starting October 12th, the week of October 12th. I'm going to have my own weekly TV series doing Catholic apologetics on a secular TV station.
Awesome.
And the show is called Balaam's Ride, and it's going to air on HTV 10 in Houma, Louisiana.
There you go.
Probably most of the people watching, excuse me, don't live in Houma.
Right.
But if you have a smart TV or a smartphone, all you have to do is download the app, HTV 10, and you can get it wherever you are in the country. And it airs, I think the time is 1:30 to 2:30 every Monday through Friday. Then that's Central Time, 1:30 to 2:30 Central, Monday through Friday. And I'll be doing apologetics on, like I said, on secular TV.
These are awesome resources. And so if you said about 350 stations with EWTN, with this here that you just mentioned, your website, so many resources. And what's really fabulous is that it's all kind of condensed here into the very relevant course that you're teaching for high school students.
Yes, and that's because what I found out in the past with high school kids is that especially those who are in Catholic schools or maybe Catholic homeschooling groups, they're in kind of a bubble, as it were. And so when they go off to college, if they haven't been prepared for how to answer the questions, and a lot of Catholic schools, they do a great job of teaching the what of the faith, but not necessarily the why.
Got it.
And if you're asked, well, why do you Catholics do A, B, and C? Or where in the Bible is C, D, and E doctrines that you believe? And you've never been taught that. Well, now you're like, well,
now
and it could cause a reaction that for many Catholic college students, it's their first step towards leaving the church.
Right,
because they think, well, if I don't know the answer, then maybe there's not an answer to these questions. And so it inserts doubt where there was faith. And that is not a good thing. So that's why, especially for high school students, this apologetics course is a really good thing.
Absolutely. And absolutely. We're going to give the parents some ways to get a hold of you and find out more specifically about the course. But before that, can you give me just a few words about you as a person and give us a little window into who you are and some of what you like and what you do on a daily basis.
I'm in Alabama. I'm a native Alabamian. Born and raised in Alabama. Have a wife, 4 kids, ages 15 to 24, and 2 are in college. So we're budgeting very carefully.
Yes, right.
I have a German Shepherd puppy. Well, he's about a year old, so
He's a big puppy.
He's a big puppy. And I just like being around my family. My kids they have this certain thing that they've gotten into. What's it called? I just call it Japanese cartoons, anime.
Yes, anime.
One or 2 shows. There's a show on volleyball. My daughter played volleyball in high school. And so there's a show on volleyball I was surprised it's actually very well done.
Oh, how fun.
Very well done. And so I just started watching it because my kids are watching it. And I thought, well, I'll just sit here and be present for my children. And I started.
And now you like it.
Into it.
Right?
Now I like the show. And so it's just,
that's fun.
So that's the kind of thing. Yeah, I'm just very easy to a relaxed person for the
most real guy.
I tell people I take my faith and my family seriously and not a whole lot else.
Well, I really appreciate you taking the time here to tell us about this course, a little bit more about your resources. And if they want to, first of all, get information about the course and the week by week, what's in the course, people here watching, you can go to the Homeschool Connections website, homeschoolconnections.com, and there's a catalog on the homepage. Just go right in and look up the name here. And what's the title of the course again?
Blue Collar Apologetics.
Blue Collar Apologetics. Look it up for the details of what's covered each and every week. And if they want to reach out to you personally, I know you have some resources at your website. Can you give us that information too?
I do. Again, the website is BibleChristianSociety.com. I mentioned the audio resources I have, the CDs and the MP3 downloads. And I mentioned the newsletter. The newsletter you can sign up for. I've got something like 40,000 subscribers in all 50 states, and I think it's about 80 countries around the world. Just go and you put your email in, and that's it. And I don't send you emails asking for money every week, okay? That's my word to you. It's apologetics. And so that's where you can get more information. You can also email me. My email is john@BibleChristianSociety.com, or you could send it to admin@BibleChristianSociety.com. Either one gets to me. If you've got any more questions about the course or any of the materials that I offer, I am available to take your emails.
Awesome. So great talking with you today. Thank you for taking your time.
It's my pleasure.
About your course and all that you do. And parents and students, this is a great course to get in. So check it out. Thanks again, John.
All right. Thank you.